Hello, today we are at the parking just past this triangle junction thing at the edge of Yelverton Aerodrome, which in World War II was RAF Harrowbeer, and they've since removed all the buildings and built on top of the runways just roads and downs. People go here on their driving lessons and things. I went here on my driving lessons because it's like flat everywhere and there are just like serene roads over it and bays and things. But I found maps of all the old buildings and where they're meant to be, so I'm going to try zigzagging between them and seeing if there's anything on the ground where the buildings for the aerodrome or the World War II airfield once were. Something like 3 miles, 4 miles. This is the top half of it. So the first thing up near the car parking is small arms ammo stores, and then there'll be a bomb store. And it's raining, annoyingly. So I don't think there's any sign of that now. Small arms ammo store. There's the Triangle Crossroad. That would have sat just here. No particular sign of that one, I think. The next one, we go around the triangle corner and there'll be another little car park there, and behind that is where the bomb store was. Haven't seen this before. Don't feed or touch the ponies, it attracts them to the road and they kick or bite. That's weird. There's the hill drenched in rain past the Triangle Crossroads. So Dad's looking at some unmarked things that aren't on the map.
There's something here.
Yeah, there's a few things that get duplicated. Barrack huts might be. And in the woods behind it is our second item. There's a lot of funny faced lambs around. So I think I've seen this one before actually, and this one does have some standing out features that still remain. There it is over there. So this is the bomb store.
Maybe was this the building here, and then the trucks pulled up here, and they
rolled bombs down a slope.
Or put them on trucks that were.
Or they rolled them up
onto here, maybe.
I guess it would have been bombs for the planes to carry under the wings. So yeah, they store. I guess they store them here, then they transport them over to the airfield and put them on the planes. A bit more of the building continuing over here. Big ramp. There's an edge here, a corner. And then a hump is back there as well. What were the bombs stored underground? I don't know.
No, I just wondered if there was like an underground bunker here.
No, I'm going geographically. I didn't really read too much of the history of it. I'm just like jumping geographically for different parts of the aerodrome and what they were in the past, what they were called. There's obviously an old tarmac track thing. Used to be used for something in the past. I don't know if it is something now. There's another one going across there. So back to the road, and we try and find a bit where the main road the cars are going on turns left, and that should be the main entrance. Little tiny seedling in there, looks a bit like my pepper plants. Like some old tracks. Don't know what's gone here. Someone trying to make a teepee or something, or putting all the branches of this tree back on it. Just, you know, a shoe full of soil. Back down on the track again to get to the road corner. There's a weird little tiny hump there by the tree. Bricks or something. Concrete. So this is the road corner. Arrived at it sooner than I thought. It's not an absolute corner because there's a bit that keeps going up here, but this bit turns. So around here, actually more where I'm standing, would have been the main entrance. For some reason, and it doesn't correspond with the roads of today for some reason, this would have been the main entrance to the airfield, just in here. So there's nothing really to be seen of that. Now we go up this a little bit from where the corner is. We're probably... well, that's an interesting plant. Oh, it's a fern. It looks really weird for some reason. The camera's getting a bit drenched. I hope it doesn't malfunction. So the first buildings we come to would be guardhouse. There's some kind of underground tunnel in here. On the other end of it. Here's the other end of that tunnel, whatever it was.
Yeah, so what was it?
Guardhouse is what we're at. I don't know. There's a flat building here of some sort. And then the flat platform here, which we saw from down there. There's a little fellow down here. So it's hard to make out this car park on the satellite view. I think it might be because there's a bunch of trees above it. Another lamb. Well, young sheep, maybe a bit old to be a lamb. Lots of weird ceramics, or well, just, you know, broken up concrete, I guess, in the holes in the road here. There's a little building bit. So mouldy, a giant bit of tarmac sticking out of the ground here. World War II. Just here under this tree, I guess. Do we know what that
well,
is?
on the old airplanes, they used to, on the bombers, so on top of something, there was a dome, you know, with a double machine gun thing that they could just turn around and...
What, are those detachable from the plane? Well, I suppose they might be? No, I don't know.
No, but the dome was like a ground base to teach the...
Oh, there's a ground-based versions of those, was there? Yeah. So that's somewhere here before the road. Or it was somewhere here before the road. Before the road, here somewhere. I don't know, it looks like a roundabout. But it's around here. It might be this. There's a little raised platform here. Yeah, this is it. This was a gun trainer dome apparently. So have those orb machine gun turrets that you get on bombers, like a ground version of those, I suppose. Used to sit here and fire into the sky.
So was this it?
Yeah, this was it. Yeah, I think all these tarmac tracks and things have been put in, most of them been put in after, I think, the 1940s airfield. That platform there looks like an old thing though. So like that, I imagine that would be newer than this. I think this would be the 1940s stuff. There's an item to look at. Must have been something. There's cracked airfield concrete where the grass grows out of the gaps when you abandon it. Yeah, there's another flat thing across the road there. Again, not named on my map, but probably was something. So now we're at the road down from the gunnery training dome. Bit convoluted now. It says go up the road and turn left to get to main... Wait, no, it's two lefts. So ignore the first left after this. So ignoring that one. Well, there was something here behind this car parking bay. See, I'm not sure if we're too far on or not there yet. Okay, so there's a map plinth here. Someone's put up. Might be good to take a photo of.
A memorial stone, place it.
We've done a bit of it.
Leg of mutton.
Yeah, we're not at Memorial Stone yet. That's somewhere up here. Does it say you are here? Ah, you are here. Well, this map's saying we're already at the armory. So that's a bit weird.
Where's the armory?
Here, where we are. 8 armory.
I presume it was that building where that
yeah,
stone
so I
is
guess
there.
that's the armory, which means we've gone too far for the other buildings. So
this map showing.
Go back. So we went too far. That's the armory, which means at the end of that would be the main workshop. This one isn't listed, whatever this is. Well, there's a bit of brickwork here, and there's some old stuff between those trees. Some remnants there, brick lined. This bit here, there's the main workshop. I guess they worked. That's what we were trying to figure out what that was before. Up from there, along the left side, you can get to main stores and fuel store and motor transport shed. There's the main workshop. You go up here. Geographically it's a little bit confusing because there's not too much in the way of landmarks. It's a lot of roads through green on flat surfaces. Main stores. Oh, okay, that thing we're at was main stores. So that's called main stores. I don't know what is stored in the main stores. Up the diagonal car park that comes off the main one and through the woods behind it is a fuel store. So we're passing the end of the car park. There's a platform here, the fuel store. There's something over there, which I'm not sure about. Okay, what's the difference in distance? Up there. The map we've got today, the zoom level, you think it's showing miles and miles in scale, but it's showing like meters and meters, so everything's way more condensed. Let's get back on the main car park track. Have to look at the map as if everything's a lot more condensed than I was expecting.
V-shaped.
Yeah. Maybe you sit a bomb in there, I don't know. You sit something in between the grooves to work on. But at the end of the car park here should be motor transport shed and office. So let's go to the car park. So here's the car park here, and there's like strips of concrete along the end of it there. So it was saying motor transport shed and office, I think.
Cars and whatever.
Yeah, where they kept all their vehicles. Don't think there's more of it out here beyond the car park. So if we go down here towards a ring-shaped car park, then that would be bulk petrol installation. Should be able to tell because that'll be further set back from the road from the armory, so beyond the armory where we found that plinth with the map. Yeah, I think we've come to it quite early. I think this is it. Let's go in here. Bulk petrol installation, what does that say to you? They're like filling the giant fuel tanks for the planes, something like that, or they're storing the giant fuel maybe. There's a bit of concretiness down here. Overgrown on the corner. And there's a kind of depression there, kind of dip.
Filled up the planes.
You think they filled up the tankers here, like tanker trucks or something?
Yeah, and then the tankers went to planes that were parked around the place.
And filled them up via pipe, yeah, maybe. So the main bit I can see is this concrete here.
Yeah, I mean...
And there's a big ditch there.
Yeah, so maybe that's where the tanks were. You know,
yeah.
The big tanks.
Wonder what they looked like. There's probably a remnant of something. It's all rusted now.
Metal.
Rusted metal, yeah.
So
maybe that was part of the fuel station. It's got wedged in a tree.
Here, perhaps.
Tankers pulled up here.
Maybe.
So roughly through these trees, actually I can see a bit of building there, so that's probably it. Squadron office, yeah. So I guess maybe the squadron leaders were in this place. Were they planning their navigation to get over to France? Something like. Quite a nice view of Sheep's Tor from here. Don't know why the remaining bit of it looks like this. It's a bit like the pipe thing that we saw before. Strange little bunkery trench things.
There's lookout holes here.
Lookout holes. Maybe it was a deeper bunker at the time.
Air raid shelter, maybe?
Not really sure. It's a bit of an odd one. For squadron office.
Yeah, they're for looking out of, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's not that deep inside. Maybe it used to be deeper inside previously. And they filled in the
yeah, looks like this.
They filled in the bit. Maybe that'd be head height.
What was that? Was that
normally?
Is that just a shelter?
Saw one up at the guardhouse. There's a big bit of concrete over there. Holes on the other side too.
I'm guessing this one here at the time.
For navigation, I'm going to the tip of this thing. Maybe this was actually the squadron office, and that's some part attached to it. They got views over there. Huh?
What tour is that?
What tour is that? I don't know. Squadron tour.
Squadron. Oh yeah.
Just noticed a weird plaque thing there. I think it might be one of those no unauthorized vehicles things. Yeah, get back to the tip of squadron office and then try and go parallel. And there's a mystery thing. I've just put question mark on it, but there's something that appears on satellite up here, so I put question mark on it. I think I can see it. Hasn't stopped raining yet. I was hoping it would stop. Anyway, here is a mystery thing. It looks circular, like a circular hump, but you can see this from the satellite, so I put it down. Kind of rounded. What's the... Yeah, maybe it was a bunker. Maybe that was hollow down underneath it there. Yeah, there's like a bit like those Normandy kind of bunkers with the concrete shell. Go around it. Yeah, it's kind of circular, isn't it? It's another one of them vent things that maybe was a lookout thing in the past. Head height, perhaps. Ventilation hole things in the roof, perhaps. Yeah, don't know about this one. But we're slightly higher up, raised on it, so you can see a bit more of the surrounding stuff. So now on top of this weird question mark bunker, we were going parallel to the road, but now we go off like almost, not quite 45 degrees, but up that direction until we cross over Drake's Trail, which I've been on quite a lot before. The bit of Drake's Trail that leads from Harrowbeer to Yelverton if you want to walk between the two off-road, off the main road. And that's where there should be rifle ranges, or where the rifle range used to be. I think I recognise that tree on the corner of that hump there. I think I even have a bit of video in my YouTube gallery of me standing under it when I walked that bit of the trail between Harrowbeer and Yelverton. So yeah, here I stood here and cooled down on a hot day, and that's actually on a video in my channel somewhere. And there's the main path between Harrowbeer and Yelverton. So let's go down to it because we need to cross it and go into that wood on the other side. I'm gonna have to go after the kink in the track, so I think the kink in the track is actually over there. Path kind of seems to straighten out here, so I think this clearing is in the right place at the kink. It's this flattened S thing. You can see the odd car on the road going through there. It's kind of crossing zigzags of tracks to reach where this thing was. It looks to be that the thing we're looking for is quite overgrown now, with ferns and brambles and all this stuff. I don't think we're going to see much, but I think it's around here. This is, so what is this? A machine gun and rifle range. So think Willsworthy, but then think 79 years later and buried in a bunch of brambles. There might be a bit of a building there, but we're right next to the road. And you can see it kind of is next to the road. The blue is the main road there. Can't really see where it ran because it's so overgrown. Alright, I was expecting to see more with that one, but let's head back onto the main aerodrome. And what's the next thing? Bellman Hangar, if we can get back to where we were. Back on Jake's trail, and I've opted for a lighter coke because I was boiling in that other one, but it is still constantly raining, so I'm going to get my head wet. Concrete base through the woods there, again not on the map, maybe it's a barracks. There's the hump, I've seen it. The unknown hump that looked like a Normandy bunker. This is a bit like tour bagging, but you're like 50% less likely to find something when you're working from maps where it says something is. You're looking at a lot smaller stuff where there used to be something, but there isn't really now. Here's the hump again, so across the road from it would be Bellman Hangar. At least that's what I could work out from a bit of a grainy image. Someone put a map online of the airfield buildings. It's the best I could find, but it was a bit low resolution, unfortunately. Could be Betman Hangar or something, I don't know. Bit of concrete with some iron hooks coming out of it. So, a strip of concrete here now. There's a bit more of a base of concrete to the right over there, and a couple more slabs. This one might be half buried actually, it might go further into the ground back there. This used to be where some concrete sat, maybe it's still down there. See, it's affected the vegetation on top for some reason. It's a metal screw in this, don't want to fall on there. And I can see one of my favourite bits over there, I think, which I've passed a few times. It doesn't look much now, but when you're above it, it stands out quite a lot. It's a circle of concrete in the ground with grasses growing out of it. Dad's back's not doing too well, so he's going to head back to the car now, and I'm going to try and complete a bunch of this airfield on my own and then head back. So yes, Bellman Hangar. Where next? So heading to the right of it from where we're facing and crossing over a track on the way there, there are some, well, question marks as it seems on the map, but they are things you can see on the satellite. The end bit of the Bellman Hangar. If it is indeed Bellman, and I haven't just misread a word that was blurred by an image. Also, later on we're not going to them, but there's something that on the image looked like Bostock Hangar or something. I don't know, we'll see later. Okay, I was looking at the map a little bit wrong. This isn't, this might be part of Bellman Hangar, but mostly Bellman Hangar is this kind of, I was going to say flat bit of grass, but it's a bumpy bit of grass now, so I don't know how they could have built a hangar on it. Maybe that's where they buried rubble. There's a lot of humps there which are a bit abnormal to nature. But yeah, I think the flat bit is meant to be Bellman Hangar Main. So yeah, we're actually closer than I thought. There's a semi-track at the end of this concrete. Here is the semi-track, touches the road just over there. Let's go up this a little bit from the corner. There's a bunch of sheep here though, so I'm bothering the sheep. Alright sheepies, chill out. So then milling over there now. So this is Battle HQ, or Battle Headquarters. This piece here. little pipe in here for some reason. The plant has used it to grow. That's kind of cool. That track is beyond this line of gorse now. The track we saw coming off the road. So if I go halfway down the track, between the track and the road, so we're kind of doubling back on ourselves here. Sort of see the road through the gorse there. That's where that is. We've got some question mark buildings here. One here. And you've got a larger strip over here. It's got some of those hump mounds on the left. Again, those don't look natural. I just imagine they buried a bunch of stuff here. Maybe they buried the walls of the buildings that they demolished. It's like diggers and things. So this one is a question mark for my map. I didn't actually find a reason for this bit's existence. Maybe it's a barracks. There's a few unnamed things of barracks on my list. And over there's the armory, because it's where the cars are parked next to the map. Then if I go this direction, I think, well, where's the road? There's the road. So go to the end of this, and then I'm looking for these kind of shapes here. And from this corner, face in line with the road, and then we go off through this gorse here. Should be at the end of a bigger area than that, I think. Cracked concrete patio, if you will. Hell of a murky day for it. My camera's drenched, I'm drenched. I think my camera just didn't know what off was when we were on the Drake's Trail for a moment there. Just refused to turn off. I'm following this sort of straight line bearing. Oh, I think that might be it actually. Oh, there we go. I think that might be it. So this is a lot larger area of concrete patio. Again, this one is a question mark, unfortunately. It looks like a large area of tarmac where you could fit a few planes and service them. Yeah, this one's pretty large. So plant myself at the centre of it, at the bottom, for navigation purposes, facing down, and it wants us to go to the left again actually. No, we've been to Battle HQ, that can't be right. What have we done there? I think we've been to some places we're meant to come to later, damn it. Okay, watch office and control tower. So if we can get back to Battle HQ where those sheep were and then head out. And the rain is cold. The where those sheep were, let's try and go around them to not disturb them so much. But that was Battle HQ, I guess. So we'll go through here then. Some bits and bobs in the ground here. So there's that hangar, Bellman hangar, and there's a little square hole in the ground where I am. So outward from that, there's some stuff here, which is probably on my map. So you can see that expanse out there, that's probably one of the runways. So I'm not sure what this first block of concrete here is, but the next one is where a control tower stood. It was called, wasn't called a control tower apparently, it was called a watch office. So that's this one we're approaching now. This one is watch office, just there. So this bit here, I don't know how high it stood, but I guess there was a control tower to overlook the runway here. Then this one off to the right was called Signals Square. Not quite sure how that would work, but that's where it was anyway, geographically. Got some gorse growing out the centre of it now. There's a bit of metal, looks like, over here. What's this, a flagpole? Looks a bit like a flagpole or something. To change absolutely everything there, my coat, my battery, my position of my maps, all sorts. Useful little flagpole. But that set me back 5 minutes, I think. So we'll go to my favourite bit, which turns out it's called compass platform. I don't know what they do with this, stick a giant compass on it. There must be some device that used to sit on it. I like taking photos of this one when it's sunny because it looks really nice. You can see this in a couple of my old videos too, when I was messing around with my wide angle lens. Look at that. So let's line them up actually. So that's more or less a straight line from Signals Square to Compass Platform. And then we're going to, I guess I'll line them up on my map here. So we're going to go that direction to where that van's parked. Just to the edge of that hump actually. So that's easy enough. Big humps there. Not sure if that's where they parked the aircraft before going to the runway. But we're just going to the right of that for now, where that van is. Oh, and actually right here we see where it's all flat there. And down here, this is runway 1. And down the end of runway 1 there's something, at the end of that and towards there's a couple of things that I'm not going to visit that said Boster hangars, or it could be blister hangars. Again, this is the low res map. So it's like blister hangers or Boster hangers or Bostock hangers or Burster hangers. So for some reason the two letters after B bled together and it was a mess. So not going to visit those, but that's the start of runway 1 there. And there are 3 runways. And then this is a little road I have to cross, which has sheep's tor nicely set against the background of it. This is mostly where people take their driving lessons. In fact, I think there's someone out there right now doing a driving lesson. Yeah, particularly this strip here by the humps. That's someone doing a driving lesson right now. It's always very popular with the driving instructors. There's these big humps. You probably, if you've been watching my stuff long enough, lucky me, you probably saw me walking along the top of these humps ages ago in 2013 or something like that. So I'm going to go around the first one of these bays. See, it forms a kind of chicken's foot. And this bit at the end of the bays is a flight office. And there are a number of flight offices all around. See, there's one that we're at down here. There's another one that I don't know if we're going to go to there. There's several of these. There's some up here. So there's a few more bays on the other side of runway 3. These are alongside runway 1. So I guess they need multiple flight offices. And this is where one of them used to stand. It's a lot of concrete here, so fair sized building. Not sure if it's where the pilots go to plan their flights or register, or not really sure what goes on here, but it's quite a big building. And you can see another road here we've come up to, which probably runs around the back of the rock, the Harrowbeer Rock, which, yes, there is a tour on this journey, but it's one we've been to, so no big shock and nothing to tick off. So that's what one of the flight offices looks like. get back onto that driving instructor popular road. I think when you're in that field there's a bit of a view on a clear day off towards Plymouth direction. So we're going to come out of this now, head alongside the road a little bit, the edge of the next bay thing with the kind of chicken foot shape humps. Now my map is telling me we have to go out into the gorse there and reach runway 1 again, which is quite a flat bit of land. So I guess get through the gorse and get to the open land, and then we're on it. And then we're heading slowly to a memorial stone, but there's a question mark on the way. So runway 1 at the moment is on this side of the road. Somewhere back there the road goes slightly diagonal and cuts through what used to be runway 1. So we are actually on it, I believe, or maybe a little bit further that way, and we're roundabout on it. So it's a bit confusing that the road cuts through in a soft diagonal through the what used to be the runway. But we're going to go along this flat area. Yeah, we're coming out of the gorse now, so this must be it. It would make sense actually to get up to the road here. Somewhere around here is where runway 1 is crossed by runway 2. That's runway 1 running down to where I am. That's runway 1 running off down the side of the road there. We're going to follow that in a sec. Exactly where this road turning is being placed on top of everything is where runway 2 comes down at that angle. There are some bits of concrete buried right here actually, maybe even bits of the runway 1. So there's the road joining on. So runway 2 runs up that on the left side, I think. So across here, runway 2 is crossing runway 1, and then it must go up that direction. It goes off that direction, which ends up at the rock, which we may or may not be able to see there. There might be part of it there, the local tour. What we're going to do is go alongside runway 1 for now, to get to the edge of Yelverton where there should be a memorial stone, but should keep a lookout on the way for objects. There's an object there that I might want to investigate briefly. Not quite on runway 2, I think runway 2 is running alongside us on the right there. There's a bit of hidden concrete stuff going on here. Mystery building right here. Got a bit of a spiral of gravel underneath it. This is just a feeding trough. I think this is a modern sheep feeding trough for the animals, or horses even. I think, at least I've seen one on the Pimple at Tavistock, which is like a house on a hill that is over an underground reservoir, and the horses there drink out of it, so maybe they're not meant to, but that's what I think when I see one of those. So we'll go back onto the runway. That bit was obviously not part of the old airfield. I know, it's a horrible day, isn't it? So back to following runway 1 along the road here until that little camp compound where there used to be a nice shop. I don't think it's there anymore. Still walking down the length of runway 1, so this is vaguely the site the pilots would have seen when taking off their bombers to head for France. I think there's some Czech pilots there, like there was a squadron that was Czech, Dad says there's a squadron that was Polish, and then the rest were English. You can sort of see over there, we might be walking alongside these bays on the way up to the rock, which we have done before in a video, but... And we have some vague knowledge about what some of them might be. There might be a shop on the corner still, actually. You have to cross the road. I think the memorial stone is that concrete lump over there. There's words written on it. So let's get to a gate for this bit. Scraggly ass bit of land there. Right, so the old shop we used to visit is now Dartmoor Bakery. There's a few shops there. Here's the memorial stone. Oh, it mentions Rhodesia, that's kind of cool. So have a pause to read of that one if you'd like. Don't know what these plants are here, but there seems to be a lot of them. Whole field of the damn things, whatever they are. So that's a memorial stone. I'm going to go back onto the aerodrome. Back onto runway 1. And we're going to follow runway 1 to its end, which is just basically ends here, past where these sheep are. A random lump of granite just here. See the end of runway 1, where is it? Is cut off just here, and then becomes runway 3 going off the diagonal to the right. And then all of these hillocks have little flight centres between them. We zoomed in on those earlier. So runway 3 will be on it just before those sheep there, which is there's a family there, which is a little bit, hopefully won't get in their way. But it's a bit of orange bruised ground leading up to the tree here that these sheep are nestled under. This is where the runway 3 begins, runway 1 ends. So runway 1, we've been coming down here, and now a diagonal from the sheep tree past these bays. It's parallel with like the first 3 bays, and then the road curves off. So runway 3 goes that way. So we'll follow this along almost to the end. We'll follow it to where it's crossed by runway 2, but I don't think we'll be able to see that very well. So I think it's actually after the first 2 hump things. There's a chicken foot hump there, chicken foot hump there. Not actually sure what these things are, but they're probably some of the most distinctive things on the aerodrome. And then just between this chicken foot hump and that chicken foot hump, there's a flight centre. It's going to be sort of behind that little tree that's in the foreground. We're going to have a quick glance. I don't know if I see any concrete in the ground here, but this is where it is anyway. Yeah, so there's meant to be a flight centre in there. I think it's kind of completely demolished though. Never mind. The runway full of crows at the moment. Going along runway 3, I don't think we'll see very easily the bit where runway 2 crosses over it, although it does coincide with a kink in the road to the left. So that happens, and then the runway crosses us. Okay, and then there's a couple of things on the right, which I think actually happened around that weird house over there, which has been built on top of what they were. Nice bit of black gravel now marking the runway where we're walking. There's a shape crossing over here, but I don't think it's runway 2. Well, maybe not a shape. Like a shape as far as top-down view is concerned. How about that? That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, look. It's at the right angle to be runway 2, but it isn't, because it just ends in that bunch of shops over there. Pretty drenched today. So there's a tree built right in the centre of the runway there. We are still following the runway 3 down. I don't know if this is where the planes would have been facing to take off, or if those have been facing back in that direction. But this is it. Runway tree. Over there, just make out the road that went past the humps. It does kink just up there. So some point after the kink, I guess just after the trees here, is where runway 2, am I getting this right? Yes, runway 2 joins runway 3, crosses runway 3 rather, which could be happening just after that tree in that direction, and just after these trees in this direction. Got some buildings up in front here which correspond with stuff that used to be underneath them. So they were built on top of some airfield structures. So here's the edge of these trees here, going up to more humps. Let's see if I can line it up. That might be the last of the humps. Not sure if I can see this hump. Oh, that parking bay there, yeah, that's a ring. So that's a ring parking around those humps. So that's the ring just behind the rock there. So over there is where runway 2 ends, or starts I guess, and goes up that way. And then we've been on runway 3, which goes up that way. So first we're going to go over to these two buildings here. Got more hump things and flight offices down there. So I'll just stop by this road, I think. The first building on the left used to be something called Ravenscroft, which apparently was like an officer's mess hall. So I don't know what that looked like before the building was plunked down. And on the right there, that used to be called Nightstone, which was an early version of the control tower, which they call the watch tower, whatever I said earlier for the previous control tower, which was a newer version. So this was the old control tower, and up there before the signal square was the newer control tower, from what I can tell. Look at this motor tricycle up here. It's kind of cool, isn't it? That's like the yellow one that Billy Connolly drives around Scotland in. Or where else does he drive? He used to drive around America or something? I don't know, man. Common sight in Dartmoor, a Willie's ice cream van. And there's the rock. It's been non-stop raining. I thought it'd stop raining at some point, but it just hasn't. So I'm going to go up to the rock and go around the back of it. I wanted to find out what the little metal ring was behind the rock. Looks like an anti-air emplacement slot or something. But yeah, none of the maps would tell me that. So we'll see that again. And then that'll probably be the end of the video, to be honest. Got to get all the way across the airfield there, which might be a mile or two, to get back to where we parked. This is a ring-shaped car park that goes around. A couple more of these chicken foot humps. I feel like that's where the planes would be just stationed, sitting inside these things. And here's a second view on my channel for the rock. I'll go off to the right here and start, and then I'll go around it. So here's the back end of it. Maybe I'll take some photos with it. I don't know if I got any photos with it, but as kids, kids always like to climb up this rock, and as kids we used to climb up it. It's might be a bit beyond me these days, but as an adult looking at it, it looks a lot smaller than it does when I was a kid. It looked a lot larger. But it is quite a big, large rock there. See this end of it here? Here's the back. And then it goes off to that standout piece at the front. Let's walk alongside its length. front of it, and there's a war memorial here, a cattle grid, and the road from Yelverton to Plymouth, which is quite busy. Over there somewhere is a Chubb tour, which we still haven't done, but we've got permission from the landowner to do. We've just got to arrange a date, but we haven't seen her come in our business yet. So I'll just go to the war memorial first. (1952). This is the furthest part of my journey today, and just around the back of the front of the rock. You know what I mean? The bit of the front of the rock, which is facing the Yelverton to Plymouth Road, is this metal ring. Oh, nice little bench there. Oh, the rock looks a lot smaller from this direction actually. The other side makes it look bigger. Yeah, there's this metal ring here, and I wanted to find out what this was. It's built on a bit of a conical hump. It's iron by the looks of it. Yeah. So, any clues what that bit is? I want to know what that is. Okay guys, so that was a trip around all the ex-buildings in the Yelverton Aerodrome, formerly RAF Harrowbeer, which was a World War II bomber airfield, I believe, and up to the rock, this tour out at Yelverton. Thank you for watching.